I was equity partner on the compensation committee. I was in management. I was chairing a conference. I was designing my biggest project, a 4,500 square foot home. I had had a surgery. I did huge speaking engagements in front of 4,500 Black female lawyers, and I had kept going to the next. I was like, okay, once I get past this and once I get past this, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to celebrate, and could not get out of bed. Uncontrollably crying. Could not get out of bed.
Oh, you were really done.
Exhausted.
Welcome back to Take Yourself to Work, the podcast about finding success without losing yourself in the process. And we have a stellar guest for you today. I'm talking about, please pull up a chair, get a pen, get a pad. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to remember this moment. All right. We have with us today, Chalon Clark Thomas, the one, the only, the incomparable. Okay. This is a big deal. I'm so excited to be here with you. As a matter of fact, we're filming on site. Just in case you didn't know, we are in Chalon's home. If you want to call it that, it's more of a chateau. But we were in Chalon's chateau today, and she is sharing with us her journey to being a big, outsized, everything character in this world and how she got there and where she started from, essentially.
Okay. Those are big shoes to fill.
I mean, these are your shoes. You're already feeling them. I promise I will not embellish or exaggerate today. I am literally just reflecting to you what I see in you.
Oh, don't make me cry already.
You know, it's too early and your lashes are too cute. Not yet. There will be no tears to the halfway point.
You didn't prep me at all. We didn't do a warm up or anything.
You don't need prep.
Okay.
Litigators do not need prep.
I don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Let me just tell you. The premise of the podcast is primarily people come to me all the time and they want to transition. They're either bored with, unhappy with, or feeling boxed in their current career, and they're trying to do something else. And what I have found is there are all of these, sometimes imaginary, sometimes real hurdles that they're scared to take a run at. Sometimes it's what other people will think. Sometimes it's, am I ready? Sometimes it's, what if I fail? Sometimes it's, I don't know if I am qualified. And so I intentionally seek out people who have made those leaps, particularly from traditional beginning careers. And I think you are the epitome sort of that journey. Would you agree?
I don't know about that, but I would say I am in the middle of this.
Okay.
This thought and transition about what is next to be the big leap, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
Design has been my side hustle with the law, and now I'm thinking about what could it look like? How big could it be? What if I left the practice of law? Oh my God, I'm saying that in public.
I know. I'm glad you said it because it was on my card to ask you. Like, is there a future? And you know what? Let's go back.
Yeah, we should go
Let
back.
us run down for the people. And I think I'm going to, at least temporarily in my mind, title this episode "The Quiet Revolution of Chalon." Okay, because I feel like that's what is happening right now.
Okay.
So Chalon, and I'm going to go all the way back because we went to law school together. Chalon has clerked for federal judge, clerked for the Chief Justice of the Texas Supreme Court, Wallace Jefferson. She is an equity partner, one of 0.06 Black women in the world who are equity partners at an AM100 firm. She is also a fantastic interior designer, and how she got from that to that, we are going to discuss today. And she's also got some really exciting things coming on the horizon that I didn't see coming, and I want to know if you saw them coming or if they were a surprise, but you'll have to watch the rest of the episode to see that. So she's also a mother of 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 children, girls.
All girls.
Who are apparently all very obedient, so I don't know how much credit we want to give you for that work since you have the best kids in the universe. And she's a wife, which is, for most of us, we know, its own job, right? That's its own journey. She's doing all of these things at the same time, right? And so when I say a revolution, there are very few people I know who have super traditional careers that require a climb and very creative careers that require its own tandem climb. You appear to be thriving in both. So I'd like to know if you can pinpoint for us the moment that you, being a colossal figure in the legal world, decided I've got something more and different.
Okay, well, I started the interior design company like right after 2020. Like in 2020, everything was happening for everybody. The COVID, I had family members die, I had coworkers die. I was pregnant with my third, and I was on the horizon of 40, and I was just like, what would I have left on the table if I died? I started thinking about just the fragility of life, I think. And one of them was that I wanted to write a book and had always wanted to write a book. And the other one was starting an interior design company. And so I did take a writing class online, and I finished my book while I was still doing my last paragraphs while I was giving birth.
Oh
My
my
nurse,
gosh.
I was just like, hey, hold on, wait, and let me finish my
Man, please.
The
Why
nurse
would we
is
be
like,
doing
what
this?
are you doing? I'm like, I'm finishing my writing assignment.
It had to be done before you pushed. It was imperative.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to get behind. Um, and with interior design, I think it had happened over years, but I just didn't realize it. I think the first big project that I had done was my husband came home one day and was like, I bought a house. And I'm like, you did what?
Huh?
He was like,
We made a major purchase by ourselves.
yes. Yeah, he was like, I bought a house and we're going to flip it and you're going to design it. And we just did it.
I mean, that does say a lot about him already seeing everything in you that he needed to make that work.
Yeah, I guess so.
Were you overwhelmed by the prospect?
Oh, absolutely. It was this 1960s ranch style home. It was kind of big. It was like 3,000 square feet. And it needed a full overhaul, and I had not really done this before.
Well, how did he know you could tackle that?
My husband thinks I can do anything.
Oh, I love to hear it, girl. We love a king who knows what he's got.
He thinks I can do anything, but I think he saw in me what I hadn't seen over the years. Just how I had designed our apartments, because we were living in an apartment. We didn't even own a home.
Oh, wow.
And he went and bought a house. I think he just seen how I designed our apartments, and when we were dating, I designed his. And
Okay.
so anyway, we gutted it. We did it. He was the GC. My parents helped. My sister helped. I got furniture. The budget was small, girl.
What's small?
Like, he told me when we were done that I need to stage the house, and he gave me $2,000
To stage a 3,000 square foot.
So
And I bet you did it.
I did.
And did.
I got this office furniture from our job. My job was remodeling, so they gave me this office furniture, and I just learned to reupholster.
Let's pause there. I just learned to reupholster, as though once a day someone says, let me learn to reupholster while I'm not working my legal job and having a marriage and keeping my, okay, fine. So you had time to learn to upholster. I guess in between doing the other 200 things.
Yes, we learned to reupholster, and I started going to garage sales, and and I just did it. And
it flipped?
When it was done, yes, when it was done, we hired a real estate agent, and he was just like, hey, who staged this house? It's done really well. And I was just like, you're joking, right? And he was like, no, seriously, like who staged the house? I'd like to hire them. I was like, it was just me. And he was like, oh, I got some jobs for you. And I said, no, I'm just a lawyer.
Not just.
And he just kept on me. He would call, he would keep referring me to other real estate agents, and I would always say, no, I'm just a lawyer.
Really?
Yes.
Why though?
I just didn't feel capable.
But did you enjoy it?
I did. But I just was just like, I haven't gone to school for this. That's one thing that the people who become lawyers are usually type A's. We're rule followers, and we believe that there are steps to get to where you need to be. And so if you're supposed to be an interior designer, I need to have gone to school. I need to take a staging class. Like, who would pay me if I'm not qualified? To me, that means qualification, certifications.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring this up. So now that you're on the other side, did you go to interior design school?
I didn't. I did look into it, though. But I was pregnant. I actually I was still, I was pregnant with my third in 2020. And I looked into several things and I just realized I do not have time for this. I'm
Okay, but
breastfeeding two kids.
well, we're looking back. I know hindsight is 2020. All those no's, you could have done every one of those jobs.
I could have.
And you have done many more bigger, more like grand scale jobs now without a stitch of design school, and they've been successful and you're still highly sought after.
Yes.
Do you have any regrets about those early no's?
Actually, no. I think I'm a person that has to have my process. I have to get there on my own.
Okay. Fair.
People can tell you, you know, you're great, you're this, you're that, but until you believe it, I don't like operating an imposter syndrome, which that still comes anyway, but I just needed to believe it.
Mm,
And I did take a inventory of who my favorite designers were, and none of them had gone to school.
exactly.
Joanna Gaines. I mean,
Your story sounds very much like Joanna Gaines' story, helping her husband flip houses, and now she's all in Target and stuff.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, okay, Studio McGee. I was just like, oh, my favorites didn't go to school. So that kind of let me just say, let's do it. And
There's also no accounting for taste.
wow, that's a good one.
I know a lot of very well trained many things that don't have taste. There's nothing that actually makes me sadder inside my soul than when I meet someone with a lot of money but no taste. And so everything is like kind of gaudy and it's not cohesive. And I'm like, man, if you could have took your budget and gave it to someone who wasn't going to decorate like mob wives, this could have been real.
Like Mob Wives.
This could have been phenomenal. I know you've done it now. I know you've walked in some houses like, all that money and this is what you
I think I've had that experience since then, but I didn't have it early. And I think that's also like what inspires me about interior design is that, you know, growing up, I just thought rich people had good taste. I had no idea they were hiring professionals.
Oh, that's a good point.
No idea.
Hmm.
And even when we moved here, we built this house custom. And I remember one of my neighbors coming that we didn't even know. And he was just like, oh, I've been looking inside your house. I've been, you know, walking the dog and I've been looking and I see the progress. Who's the interior designer? First of all, nosy.
Listen,
But
the nosiness.
yes.
Not I was looking.
Yes, I've been looking. I've been looking.
And bold.
Yes.
Just letting
he
you
was
know.
like, who's your interior designer? And I was like, I don't have an interior designer. And I was actually offended.
Why?
Because I was just like, what? It's just me. Like, I didn't know that this is a thing. Like, that's normal.
So growing up, people in your circle weren't hiring interior
I
designers.
never even heard of the term.
Really?
No.
Hmm.
No, if I had, I probably would have gone that way.
Would you say your beginnings could be described as humble growing up? Or were you upper middle class?
I don't know. You know, when you're there, you think that.
I know nobody thinks they're broke when they're young. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're just having a good time.
I will say I grew up in a nice suburban neighborhood. I grew up in Rowlett, Texas, 30 miles east of Dallas. We were the first Black family on the block. We lived in a custom home. My mom
Okay.
was a registered nurse and my dad was an engineering
So
technician.
you were middle class.
I think we were
But
middle
these are
class.
salt of the earth people who are not going to take their discretionary income and hire an interior design.
I don't think there was any discretionary income.
Okay.
No.
It was all to make
Yeah.
your life what it was.
Yes.
And we love to see it.
Yes.
Shout out mom and dad.
Yes. So
Okay.
no, I've never heard of that.
But what I just heard you say is if you had known, you would have done that instead.
Yeah, so one of the things also in 2020 is my mom brought over a box because she was cleaning out her home. She brought up over a box from my childhood, and it was just full of me drawing floor plans and decorations. Like, you know, I kind of had forgotten. I used to take the newspaper back then. The real estate listings were in the newspaper, and I used to take it and draw the houses out. And then imagine what the floor plan would be for that house and draw it out. So it's been in me a long time.
That's interesting. And it does sort of confirm something I've always thought, which is that if there's a dream in you or if God puts a dream in you, it never goes away. You can bury it for a while, but it
Yes.
bubbles back. And those existential moments like a COVID, a world shutdown, it just like simmers right back up to the surface.
That's so crazy. That's so
Yeah.
true.
I mean, that same thing happened to me. That's when I started really writing books and publishing
Mm,
because I had, for the first time, many people, particularly type A's, had a chance to sit down and think about what they
girl.
wanted out of
Yes.
life,
The quiet.
the quiet.
Yes.
Because you are, I've heard you described as hard driving.
Oh my God.
So you were never going to pause and say,
Never.
you know what, this is a question I had for you. How do, if anyone in your circle, it doesn't have to be a coworker, it could be a friend or family. If someone was asked to describe you, how do you think they would describe you?
I mean, when people describe me, it doesn't feel like me. I need to try to internalize it, but they say extremely hardworking, magnetic, brings people together, um, kind.
That does does that align with your view of yourself? Any of it?
Yeah, I don't understand why I'm so magnetic. That doesn't. I don't understand why, but
But you would
I
agree.
see it.
Okay.
Yes.
But you do believe you're hardworking.
Oh yes.
So it sounds like their description feels true.
Yeah. But that hard working thing, I just started to believe that like 2 years ago.
That you work hard?
Yeah, like I always thought people were working harder than me. I would always be looking at the person that I'm like, well, this person stays till midnight
Oh, yikes.
all the time. I just was always doing that,
Huh.
comparing myself to people who I felt worked harder than me.
Is that only in the workspace that you felt like that? Like
I don't know.
did you feel like people were doing better than you generally across other areas as well? Like they were just ahead of you, like you were always a little bit behind.
I never felt behind. I
Okay.
just felt like people were working harder.
Okay.
And I realized that's just a disease.
Yeah, I will never participate in the work Olympics. The exhaustion Olympics. The exhaustion Olympics is how people wind up in the hospital.
Girl, don't I know it? That's what 2025 taught me.
This year.
Yes.
Tell us more. Say
Oh,
more.
God.
We need to know what happened.
No, I really drove myself into complete burnout.
How?
Working, I was, equity partner on the compensation committee in managing the firm. I was in management. I was chairing a conference for the Black female law group that we started called New Roundtable.
Shout out New Roundtable, doing big things.
I was designing my biggest project, a 4,500 square foot home. We custom built it. Then I was also designing it. I had a surgery, and I still was just going. And I kept on, and I did huge speaking engagements. I'm actually very much so an introvert. And I had done this huge speaking engagement in front of 4,500 Black female lawyers. And I had kept going to the next. I was like, okay, once I get past this, and once I get past this, and once I get past this. And then the conference was over. I did my last install, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to celebrate, and could not get out of bed. Uncontrollably crying. Could not get out of bed.
Oh, you were really done.
Exhausted. And had no idea what that felt like because I was so used to just push through, just push through, just push through. My whole career has been that.
2 questions. One, at the time when you sort of gave all those yeses to all those commitments, I'm assuming you couldn't have known how that was going to snowball on you throughout the year.
No.
But was it more than you would typically say yes to in a year?
I always say yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
We're so different.
I know.
I always start with no and then work myself. Well, I could do this one piece. I never just start with yes. Okay, but that's
because I'm always thinking about what would you miss out on. I always had that negative reinforcement.
like fear missing, like FOMO?
No, just what opportunity, what door could be open for you if you go ahead and push through and do the thing that you don't want to do.
But you gave out all those no's about those early design jobs without a second thought.
Because I didn't feel qualified.
Oh my goodness. But the things you're qualified to do, you'll do it to death.
To death, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So I did it to death.
So your aha moment was basically being incapacitated.
I was incapacitated.
And how did you
And I
get
had
past it?
I'd never been able to not pick myself back up. I mean, that's just who I am.
Must have been scary.
It was absolutely, it was, yeah, it's still something I'm still trying to process.
I mean, it seems terrifying for someone who's always running at the next thing to not be able to get out of the blocks. What changed? You're sitting here, you look good, you
Oh
look revived. Like,
gosh,
what happened?
girl, the grace of God. But I had to take some time off work. I had to spend time in intensive therapy. I'm always a fan of therapy,
Same.
but I was doing intensive therapy. I took a retreat.
Mm.
Um,
Unplugged, no
yeah,
phones, no nothing.
yes.
Mm.
Then I started like tapping back into the things that I love that I knew bring me joy. My therapist was like, you schedule everything else. Your life is completely scheduled, but you don't schedule time for joy. And one of the things that I'd always loved was dancing. You know this.
It's on my card. Yay! Stop skipping ahead on my card. So that was one of the most fun discoveries for me. First of all, yes, I know you love to dance because we used to tear a floor up.
Oh yes,
We used to, look,
girl.
I might have to edit this out, but listen, we was hurting hoes' feelings, okay? Once Cha-Cha and Jay show up, you might as well go sit over there.
Exactly.
All eyes on me. Like, we used
Girl.
to go.
And
Okay.
don't let I be on that kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Straight up on that kryptonite.
Good
The
times.
days. It was so fun.
We were so young then.
Yes.
So much energy. Yeah, so I say that to say, I know you like to dance, but I did not know that you could learn boom boom cat choreography.
I don't feel like I can learn boom boom cat
I've been
choreography.
seeing it. I'm talking about stilettos, leg warmers. It's like an episode of Fame, and it's like a nasty 8 count. How did you get into that?
I mean, when I tell you I had been looking for a dance class since I was 27 years old.
Hip
That
hop.
Yeah, but I would always make an excuse. Oh, it's too far. Oh, it costs too much money. Oh, it's too late. And I had been wanting to do it forever.
Okay, but I want to dig into this. You wanted to take the dance class for fun or because you
For
need to
fun.
feel okay?
For
I just want
fun.
to make sure it's not another qualified certified. You don't need the class. You can
No,
dance.
no.
Okay.
I feel a complete euphoria. I've never taken drugs, but I imagine that's what it feels like when I am on the dance floor and the music is pumping and I've had a margarita or something. I don't know. I actually like rum, but
Same.
I feel complete euphoria. I'm just in my moment. And so I knew that was my place. And I was like, how do you recreate that? I'm not going to the club that much these days with 3 kids.
I can't.
Uh,
There's nothing in the club for us, girl.
So how could I recreate that? So yeah, I had been wanting to do it, but I finally signed up. In fact, my secretary had found that class for me 3 years before, and I just never signed up.
A subtle flex. My secretary had looked into it and done some research for me on a dance class. Subtle flex. Subtle.
You're so silly. I am an equity partner. Everybody has a secretary.
Listen, I'm not mad. I mean, there's people several rows down the food chain that have a secretary too.
Yes,
So
yes.
I just like the way you slid that in there.
But
I had my people look into it.
so I just finally signed up, and that was the difference.
And no fear around it.
Oh yeah, I had fear about posting.
Oh yes, because we get to see it.
Yes, I was just like, I felt like, I have a lot of lawyers and judges that follow me. I have clients that follow me. And I just thought, what are they going to think? How's Chalon up here shaking her butt on Instagram?
We never really get a good back view, but
You might have missed those. I graduated to that.
eventually got to full twerkage. Okay.
Yes, but I remember sitting in the parking lot that first time and being like, oh my God, are you really going to press this? Are you going to post this? Are people going to see you in this light? Like, oh my God. And then
Why was it important to you that you do post it?
because I just wanted to be me. I just wanted to be free. I have lived such a rigid life. I have followed all the rules. And I wanted to be a federal judge since I was 9 years old. I wanted to be the first Black female U.S. Supreme Court justice. And then Ketanji came and took my spot.
Shout out Ketanji. No Ketanji shade here. We love her.
That also happened in 2020. And that was devastating for me. because I
Because
was,
you wanted to be the first.
and because that was my life dream. I thought it was my life purpose.
But you didn't think anyone could beat you to the punch to the Supreme
I
Court?
thought it was me. I thought it was my life's purpose. I really did,
Mm.
since I was 9.
And
And
there's
then the
some.
fact that she is a decade or more older than me let me know it was never going to be you.
Hmm.
And that was just like, well, if that was not going to be me, well, who am I? What?
Really? Just
Absolutely.
threw you into a real existential crisis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
And
what?
I've been going through the process. I've been through the federal judgeship process.
So it wasn't part of the dream like you could be the second. It had to be the first.
I don't know. It hit me in a way that let me know that that was not my life's calling.
Okay. Okay.
That I thought that is who I would be, that I would be that person in the history books.
And she is that
Since I was
person.
9 years old.
So now it's like, well, then what is my calling?
Yes.
And I remember you throwing your hat in the ring for federal.
And yeah, let's be clear. I had already been through the process multiple times and had not made it. So and then there was, I mean, I don't know if we talk politics on this show, but
We do.
um I was very disheartened and disappointed at the Trump appointees. And
What a nice way to say that. That is a really nice way to say he put some unqualified nincompoops on the court.
yes,
That's
and
really nice.
it really destroyed me, like my view of the judiciary that I had held so highly. And
I think it did that to a lot of people.
yeah, and it destroyed the meritocracy myth for me.
Yes, that if you work hard and you do all the right things and you're the most
Yes.
qualified, you will get the job.
Exactly. So I was going through that process already, and then she got it. So it was just like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's
So this box that I've been living in, making sure I was never photographed with a drink, making sure I was never drunk, don't go this place, don't do that. You know, I was just like, don't wear your hair a certain way. Don't wear bright lipstick. All the things that are me, clearly.
Yes.
Don't go blonde at work. And I was just like, so that's why I would have never posted it. I would never have let them see me be free, but I just wanted to be free.
I love that for you. I have a question. Who these things that are in your checklist to make sure that you present yourself?
Don't wear long nails.
Whose voice do you hear when you hear all of those things? Where did that come from?
I think it's a cacophony and a symphony of many voices. I think it comes from the Black Southern Baptist Church and forcing women to be completely conservative and be responsible for men's reactions to your body
Lord
and
and
how
Jesus.
you look. That's something I'm struggling with now and trying to deconstruct. I think it comes from, family who probably meant well, but those were the rules that they knew of all they knew is what they saw. They hadn't experienced it. I told you, I'm a first generation college and graduate.
Wow. You sure
Yeah.
took that serious. Not from first generation college to equity partner. She was like, let me show y'all how this is going to work. Let me show you what's possible. Okay.
So, I just remember. Now, this is kind of funny. This is about authenticity. We're going all over the place. Is this
And
okay?
let's go. I'm here
I
for the ride.
remember starting my first job as an attorney, and I was so excited to bring my aunt to my job and let her see my my office and all this. And so I bring her to my office, I walk her around, and then I've taken her to lunch, and she was just like, "Now you don't let these white folks see your car, do you?" I said, "Well, yeah, we go to lunch sometimes and they ride with me, I ride with them." And she said, "Girl, don't ever let them see your car. They're going to take your shifts away."
What? Meaning your car was too nice?
Yes.
What do you mean take your shifts
Take
away?
your shifts away, girl.
See,
And I'm like, "Auntie, I'm a lawyer. I don't have shifts."
she was trying to apply what she knew of the
Exactly.
world.
That had been her experience. When she was a young
She knew what the haters do.
Yes, when she was a young beautician tech, that's the word we used back then, beautician. She said she used to park her car 5 blocks away and walk and pretend she had gotten on the bus because she did not want to intimidate white people and they would take her shifts away. Like, you don't need no money, you got you a Cadillac.
See, Auntie was dropping gems. It was in the wrong context, but she knew what she was
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, but all of those things forced me to contain myself,
Mm.
made me not relatable at work. It was just, I was a sterile version of myself that I thought would be acceptable. And then Trump starts appointing people accused of rape. And I was just like, oh, none of this
To be
matters.
fair, he wasn't the first one. Well, we won't bring up old stuff. There's another one sitting up there. Okay, fair. And although that sounds like it would probably was devastating, that's when the doors fly
It
open.
did. That was the first time that I said, wait, I don't just see myself as being a federal judge. I think I could be an author. I think I could be an interior designer.
And now you're free to say and do what your real perspective is because you don't have to face some super high scrutiny to get onto a bench.
Exactly. Which
Okay.
clearly doesn't matter anyway.
Because you can be a drunk who's nothing on your calendar was had beer with the bros and definitely still get appointed. So,
Yep.
okay. I love this for you. And this is a very like, I'm coming out. But I want to say
how I feel for sure.
this is my perspective. I'm just adding my little 2 sprinkle cents in here. I always imagined that you would be this big, bold, colorful, whatever, because I feel like when you were in school, everything was big and bold and your style was on point and your clothes were like, I mean, you weren't staid, I don't think. The way you dressed and the way you were in school, I think that was probably a truer version of you than what you put on for work, right? The mask you put on for work. So I think I was not even remotely surprised when you started talking about interior design. I remember we had a call about it like pretty early and I was like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because this is how I see you in my mind's eye anyway. But I'm assuming there were some people who were not ready for the transition to the new Chalon. Can you tell me either what disappointments you expected or what disappointments you were actually voiced to you when you started becoming more of yourself?
You know what? That's not really my story.
Really?
Yes. That was my biggest fear.
Okay.
But I mean, if people are talking, they're not saying it to me. But people embraced me. They embraced me as an interior designer. The very people that I didn't want to know what I was doing were the people who became my first clients.
Oh, wow.
I did not, when we finished that project, when we flipped that house, Rich was like, that was in 2017, but in 2020, I'm starting my interior design business. And he's like, you got to post something you're doing. And I posted that first picture of one of the transitions. And I posted on Instagram. I opened my first Instagram account and and he goes, Chalon, I said, look, I did it. And he was like, Chalon, that's not how any of this works. You have no followers. He was like, you've got to post it on Facebook. And I was like, absolutely not. Lawyers and judges follow me on Facebook. They're going to think I'm not serious about the law. I'm not going to do it. And he was just like, you got to do it. And it took me a couple of days and I posted it. And the outpouring was, wait, what? You're not only a good lawyer, you're artsy and you're a creative. Mm-hmm. And my very first clients ended up being lawyers.
That's wonderful.
And judges. Like, it's crazy. So I feel like I've actually gotten more of the feedback that you just said, like, oh, you've always been fabulous, Chalon. Mm-hmm. You're just a bigger version of that. Mm-hmm. And so that has been actually welcoming and surprising that people are okay with. Now, my mom, on the other hand, might have some comments.
Well, because you're her lawyer daughter.
Yes.
But you're still her lawyer daughter, right?
Like, why are you dancing? You don't have to post it.
Oh, that's just Black Mama core right there. Every time I post something, I'm like, how do I hide this from my mom? Show everyone but your mom. And I'm like 45, but I'm still doing that. Well, because mamas are gonna mama.
Yeah.
They cannot. And I really think moms will look at their adult daughters with families and careers and see some 13-year-old they're trying to raise in the right way.
I agree. I'm starting to see that perspective.
Yeah. I mean, you think that they would make the leap, but they don't always make the transition well.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it play out a few times.
But no, I really haven't gotten much negative reaction.
But that's good.
Yeah.
And if you left the law altogether,
I know my family would be really disappointed. My dad has already said, like, I want you to do both. And, that pressure, which I'm starting to get from under because I've been doing a lot of internal work. But yeah, you're first generation. You're the family's pride and joy to say that you're a lawyer. How can you walk away from that?
but you've already done it. What's left to prove?
There is nothing left to prove. And that is something we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it gives me more peace. But it took me a while to get into that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I have made it I'm in an AM100 firm, was on the first Black female and youngest to be nominated to the governance and nominating committee. And I never wanted to be there in the first place. I just wanted to be a federal judge. So what else is there for me? There's nothing else to prove on that.
And it's also interesting, like the idea that if you move on to the next thing, all of that will disappear. Like it doesn't make sense. It's done. It's historical facts that you absolutely crushed this profession. I mean, it's on to the next thing.
Now, you've never subscribed to this, but it is true that we lawyers are the most elitist profession. And so it's always running around that crowd. All my friends are lawyers. Mm-hmm. What am I going to say? Like, oh, you're an interior designer. Nobody's impressed by that in this circle.
Like, are we still trying to impress people though?
No, I'm not trying to impress people, but it is a thing. It's just,
you don't have to commit. I know. Yes. I talk about this all the time. This is like my core. This is why I always call myself a recovering attorney. Like the core of and I talk to lawyers about this all the time. Lawyers call me like, I want to do something else, but everyone's going to be sad. And they're scared because the law, doctors also, but lawyers are one of the few professions that completely conflate their actual personhood with their career.
I wonder, is that true? Other people don't do that too?
Not to that extent.
Really?
Doctors kind of like that. And interestingly enough, professional athletes, that's another place where once you can't do that career, they don't know who they are for a while. Like they're confused. Like, I'm a professional athlete and then I got to go get a job at a company with a boss. Like, that's not what they do. And so there's an article out that I like to talk about all the time from the 1970s. That's how old it is that they already knew that the legal profession conflates their own personhood with their career in a way that's unhealthy. Wow. And it's something called the lawyer persona. Well, that's why people are so comfortable saying, you don't really act like a lawyer. You don't really. What does that mean? Yeah. Lawyers are a collection of millions and millions of individuals. What's act like a lawyer? You're not always acting like the smartest person in the room. You're not always right. You're not super staged. You're not always wearing the most expensive thing. You don't have the best car. You are too comfortable with all different types of people. Like, act like a lawyer is an elitism. It's that white shoe law firm persona, and it bleeds into your personal life in the way that it did for you, where there's other things you want to do, but now you have to figure out if you are still passing muster for that crowd, which is crazy. It's a job. This is what I tell people. Practicing law is still just a job. It's not who you are. I know we put it on a pedestal as a global society. I think this is everywhere. I mean, they're still wearing that stupid wig in some countries. Like, it's weird. Okay, it's getting...
Jamaica, I think, just got rid of it.
Yeah, and another country, Burkina Faso, they dropped it too. Like, all these colonized countries.
Yes.
I mean, seeing Black people with that white powder wig has always hurt my spirit. What are you doing? What's happening? There's no wigs and Tories. Please, let's move on. But it's everywhere like that, and it's hard. And so I think you are making the transition that there's people who would die to be able to do it, and they can't get out of the grips of, I'm a lawyer, that's who I am. The cool thing is I'm seeing more and more lawyers do stuff like have bands, sing at bars or start doing artwork. And so I think they're starting to see it. Like, there's a big wide world. And a part of that I credit is social media. Because people are showing you more of who they are on there.
Yes.
And you can agree that people are multifaceted and should not be in boxes so early like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have stuff on my... You made me give you a speech I didn't want to give to you. Here's one. This is what I'm going to talk. And I like this one because it kind of piggybacks off of what your aunt said about don't let them see your car, girl, because they're going to take your shifts. How do you, so there's, the concept attribution bias? Essentially, it's that, I'm sorry, I'm nerding out on you, but essentially, it's that when someone does well themselves, it's like I worked really hard and I did all these things. When they see someone else, they feel like they have a charmed life, and obviously they're just lucky and they're fortunate and they get everything handed to them. And I imagine that there are a group of fans around who see a Chalon who it really feels like everything you touch turns to gold. I mean, from outside looking in, can we just be real for a second? Like, long enduring marriage, 3 beautiful, healthy children, wonderful chateau. Like, then you say, I'm going to do a little interior design. Okay, now you're the greatest. People are looking for you. They want to hire you. They want you to be a part of Hollywood with it. Like, very, very much if I touch it, it's going. And I see that as part of your personality because you don't not finish things and you have to be the best at everything. Is there anything you can share that would dispel the myth that things are magically happening for you?
I'm just shocked to hear that at all.
I mean, that's how people work.
People think that? That's so crazy.
Attribution bias is really, really rampant. Most people think you have this because you knew the right people or you were in the right place at the right time. Not you. I mean, the universal you.
I know, but that just sounds crazy to me. And I don't do that. I always assume anybody who has what they have has worked as hard as I've worked.
Yes, you did say earlier that you felt like everybody was working harder than you. And when you said it, I thought to myself, I would see a bunch of people and think, who do you know? I know you know somebody because how did you? The bigger the rooms I get in with the more higher level the people, the less I am inclined to believe that everyone's really working harder.
That's really important too. Seeing behind the veil really does help your perspective. Mm-hmm. But I think, and I've seen a little bit of that. Getting on the comp committee at the firm, let me see that. Mm-hmm. But I'd say generally though, no, if people think that about me, I think that's laughable. Mm-hmm. How I see myself is the little engine that could. Mm-hmm. I have always tried hard. I mean, first, I was in the slow reading group when I first started in first grade.
What?
And by the end of the year, I was in the advanced reading group. Mm-hmm. I always struggled with math. I've always been a hard worker, and my dad used to speak that over me. He would be like, you might not be the smartest in the room, but nobody's going to outwork you. And I work really, really hard. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at my marriage, we went through 2 years of therapy before we got married.
That's smart, though.
And intensive therapy, because my husband had daddy issues, and I did not want to bring that into my marriage. Mm-hmm. We had to deal with getting closer to God. Like, I needed a man who was going to lead me spiritually, and we weren't equally yoked. So that wasn't easy either. And I remember looking at people who were just running off to get married or doing 1 or 2 sessions of counseling, and I felt an envy of them. Like, what? That's what you gonna do? I mean, I've worked hard for my marriage. I was told I couldn't have kids. I mean, when I found out the doctor told me the week before I found out I was pregnant that I would not ever have kids.
Why?
I had so many fibroids. So the fact that I have 3 and every single one of them was born through birth control. So,
they were going to get here.
Yeah.
They were going to get here.
So that wasn't easy for me. I had very hard pregnancies. I mean, I've lost. I lost twins. I miscarried.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
I don't know how many more myths do we need to dispel.
No, we don't. But see, that's the thing. I don't think people always see the glory side. They see the accomplishment. They see the awards. They see the acceptance speeches. They don't see this. And I think it's important for people who are still in the struggle, who are feeling like, well, maybe this is not for me because it's not as smooth as it seems like it is for everyone else. It's not smooth for anybody.
It's not.
I know.
Or not for me. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there just kicking it. I don't know. But
kicking it all the way to the top.
I have never had anything handed to me. In fact, though, I would say interior design is the easiest thing that has happened to me.
Okay.
I everything else, girl, in law school, I had that professor tell me that I wasn't clerkship material.
The audacity.
I know. And then ended up getting an offer on the spot as a federal law clerk. But I have had people tell me no over and over again and tell me I wasn't good enough my whole life.
And what drives you through that? Because some people, that'll sit some people down. And I had a guest on a couple months ago who didn't do something she really wanted to because a professor told her her father had been incarcerated. You're never going to get hired for that because they're going to do a background search and they're going to know your dad was in jail. She wanted to go into law enforcement, a role in criminal justice, but it sat her down. She didn't try. When somebody tells you you can't, what pushes you past that?
I don't know. I think it's just innate.
Mm.
First of all, I mean, I got to be honest. I kind of grew up in my family was negative, and I think this is a black cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard negative voices from a very early age, and I also heard work hard as you can and achieve as much as you can. And I don't know. In fact, I actually let me be more introspective. I was driven by negative reinforcement, and those were also the voices I told myself: hurry up, work harder, don't be lazy. Which drove me to the top, but also
almost sat you down for real.
Yes.
We've had this conversation before, and I'm gonna go ahead to camera and say this, dear Black people, okay? You don't have to be your kids' first bullies to prepare them for the world.
Woo.
Okay? All this, they're gonna hear from me first, so they don't hear it out in the world. Don't do that. The world is already hard. Be a soft place to land. And this is what I told you before. Don't pre-break your children and then send them out into the world wounded so you can say they're prepared for anything because they caught hell from me. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. That's literally like wounding someone and then sending them into the battle and wondering why they're having a hard time. Because they're bleeding under their armor because you cut them first before you sent them in. Like, don't do that.
Preach. Girl, when you said that to me, I was just like, oh my God. And it wasn't intentional though.
No,
I mean?
They are trying to prepare you.
Yeah. I don't even know if they know that it's hurting you at all.
So some people say, some people don't. I've been a part of conversations, and I am that for my family. That's why I don't mind being the black sheep. I will say, what you're doing is not working. This is why. Now, if you don't want to change, fine. But most kids, particularly kids like you who just want to do the right thing, want to stay on the right side, want to be obedient because God's watching, you're not going to challenge the parenting style because you're not the parent. For people like me who's both a little belligerent and also a scofflaw and has a lot to say, I told my 80-something-year-old grandmother one time, you could just ask and say, please, because she would get up in the morning and want coffee. And she'd be like, I guess I'm not going to have any coffee today. That's how she would ask for coffee. And I was like, why though? Why are we communicating in this style? What is how I would love to get you some coffee. I didn't know you wanted it yet.
Yes.
Like, it's cultural.
Yes, it is cultural.
But I did read a book. What was that book? Oh, I can't think of it. It was like Grandma's Hands or something. It's one of those books, The Body Knows the Score or something, where they say, what we call culture is just like individual pain cast broadly across generations. And so you're like, that's the culture. No, there's a cycle that hasn't been broken. That's what we're looking at, an unbroken cycle. That's generational now. It's not the culture. It could be stopped. You know what I mean? So, girl, we are all...
It's so funny, but going on that, there is nothing anybody's ever told me that was worse than the stories I already told myself. That negative reinforcement was there from an early age. I was already speaking
bullying yourself
horribly to myself.
Why? It's just, that's what you knew.
That's what I knew.
That's the language that you had to motivate yourself with.
So you telling me I couldn't, I done told myself I couldn't a million times, or that I'm not good enough. So that didn't matter anyway for him to tell me.
And the thing is, it didn't stop you, but it changes the experience. So one thing, and I had to get out of this too, because I used to say, I was the kind of person, if I want to lose weight, rather than saying like, you can do it, I'd be like, get your fat butt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how I talk to myself.
Yes. Well, one of the things that helped me break myself out of that was that I can't enjoy the accomplishments if that's the way I talk to myself, because now I just need to do the next thing because I'm bullying myself.
Mm,
So you do all this great work, you're working hard, you're breaking your back, and then you get the award. You almost can't enjoy it because it was like, about time.
that's so true. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, because you're bullying yourself.
Yeah, and I never stopped and enjoyed the wins.
See,
Never.
that's not fair.
It was just check it off. That's what you were supposed to do.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
not fair to you. And it's not fair to the people around you who want to celebrate you, because people notice that you just moved. They're trying to throw you a party and get you a cake and say, congratulations. And you're like, okay, well, I've got a case next week. I don't have time to celebrate
I
this.
know. I
And they
never
want to.
did anything for becoming equity partner.
Well,
I did the video and that's it.
which I loved.
Thank you.
The video is, if you can follow Chalon on LinkedIn, there is like it's not that long. It was like 10 minutes, not even 10,
No,
7,
it's
6 minutes,
yeah, it's really short.
where she made equity partner and she talked about her journey there. It's really good. I share it all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just share the link to people who are like, oh, let me tell you what this is really like. Because that's what you did. You pulled the curtain back a little bit.
I did, and it took a while to get there, but that's where I was at that point where, and it's funny, but I didn't feel like I was pulling the curtain back. I'm always authentic. Like if anybody talks to me, I always tell them about my struggle.
See, that but is because you are authentic, but you're not accessible.
What?
You're very busy.
That part.
So doing things like that and coming here and spending time with me today, which God love you for it, it makes you accessible, I think, a little bit in a way most people don't get to see. There's not a lot of accomplished people who will show you behind the curtain, which I think, I mean, this is so off topic, but you know when Beyonce put that video out where she showed you her life and people were just up in arms about it, either pro or against?
Which one?
It was like something
Her
was
documentary from
yes,
a long time ago?
yes.
Yeah.
People didn't know her before that, and she, intentionally so. She had designed her career where she was not knowable.
Mm.
And she took all the blowback from, because everyone has something to say, but now people think they know her, right? And I think they saw she lost kids. She cried. She was away from her husband on tour for 6, 7 months at a time. Even those little peek behind the curtain, I think is encouraging to folk who think if it's not easy, it can't be done. They realize how much work is happening and how many setbacks there really are. So the video on LinkedIn, go watch it. You did peel back the curtain, and it felt like you took some of the magic off and showed the work. That's how I thought about it.
I'm still like, it's still resonating with me about saying I'm not accessible, because that has actually been something that kind of irritates me a little bit when people are just like, Shalon, everything looks so fabulous. I'm like, just sit down and talk to me. Maybe that is it. Maybe I appear not accessible too, because when that LinkedIn video came out, I had people from all over the country reaching out to me. And what I did was I set up hours from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single Friday where I would talk to whoever reached out.
Oh, wow.
That's also part of my burnout.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
The pendulum swung a little far the other way.
yeah, it was paralegals, it was people who wanted to be lawyers, it was people who were lawyers who wanted to be partner, and I would just mentor them whatever they wanted. I'd give them a 30-minute block, and I would do that every Friday for a year and a half.
And let me clarify. When I said you're not accessible, I didn't mean it in the negative connotation.
Yeah, no, I know.
I meant you can't be.
Yeah, I have a lot of
Only
things
so
going
many
on.
people can have access to you. So it's good that you go out of your way. I mean, I wouldn't encourage you to add to your burnout doing it, but
No. But yeah, but I know it resonated with me because it was like, oh, maybe that's why, because everybody doesn't get the chance to sit with me one-on-one. Because if they did, I'm not about the mist. I talk about every struggle I've ever had. And, even being a litigator, like I was a shy introvert. I'm still an introvert. I'm not shy anymore, but like always imposter syndrome. Like, what am I doing up here? And you got that voice in your head saying, sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up, while you're talking, while you're trying to deliver an argument. It's everything's been a challenge. Everything's been a struggle. Nothing's been easy.
how many of those voices would you say you have silenced now through your work?
This year,
Yes.
I don't know, maybe 50%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I feel my life now. And I thought this was so silly. My mom tried to introduce me to self-affirmations years ago, more than a decade ago. But I just couldn't do it. They didn't resonate with me. Like,
Felt too positive.
yeah, I wasn't used to that. I mean, that's crazy, right? I wasn't used to.
He's like, this feels too kind. Give me
Yes.
something meaner to
Yeah.
motivate. I hate
I'm
that.
so
I
sincere.
don't like that for you though.
But now I am trying to reprogram the first 40 years of my life, and I am listening to affirmations all the time now and filling my head with that. So yeah, I'm working on it. And the default mode is still negative.
But you're getting out of it
I'm
slowly and
starting
surely.
to acknowledge, oh, here you go. That's the
Oh,
default button.
you're just catching the thought,
Yeah.
taking every thought captive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And start again with I am whole. I
Aw,
am lovable. I am loved.
you're gonna make me cry. I love that. So, when do you feel most like yourself?
um, I always feel like myself.
Well, because I kind of feel like you touched on it a little bit earlier, like on the dance floor. You
Oh
feel most
yeah.
inside your body, connected to who Shalon is.
Yeah.
Is there any other space that's almost wholly like that for
I
you?
think, yes, dancing and interior design. One of my good friends, Christina Curricle, said that because God is a creator, we are closest to him when we're creating.
Agree.
So, yeah, I mean, I love dancing, but interior design is that place where, yeah, I feel completely lost in a zone, no time, not worried about that billable hour,
Mm.
the point six. Ooh, the dreaded point six. Um, and I'm just, yeah, I feel alive. And I think we're gonna get to it. I felt alive on TV.
Finally. See, I didn't know when I could bring it up or if I could brought it up, but let's discuss your television debut. Let's discuss. How does this come about?
um, so I've learned a lot about TV and I still don't know much, but I had production companies for HGTV reach out to me before on via Instagram. Like people are actually watching. And I had gone through screen tests and then they passed or whatever. So this time when this opportunity came up, it was actually one of my contractors and also a friend. She was just like, what if we apply for this show? It had come up on her feed. And she was joking. I didn't know she was joking, but she was joking because both she and I were in this terrible point in our lives. What I
Mm.
was just talking about, I was suffering from burnout. We had our restaurants closed. Me and my husband owned restaurants, and several of
Mm.
them had fires and closed.
Mm.
And I was in the lowest point of my life, the
Mm.
deepest, lowest depression I have ever had in my life. So, and she also had lost a baby, had a
Oof.
stillborn. So she was like, let's do this. And I said, hell yeah. I was like, what
What
else
do I
could be?
have to
Yeah,
lose?
what do I have to lose? My life is horrible.
Okay. Can't get any worse.
Yes.
Maybe it'll get better.
So she said she was shocked when I said yes. And then so we find out that the deadline is the next day.
Ooh.
But then she also found out, and she came over, we did the video, we did what we needed to do. She also found out that they had reached out to her individually as well,
Oh, good.
which was crazy, but she never saw the message. It was in the requests or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Instagram's terrible about that.
Yes. So anyway, we went through several rounds of screen tests, and I really feel like our story probably spoke to them because we were willing to be authentic because we were in such a bad place.
Mm.
We were willing to really be ourselves. It wasn't entertainment, it was just who we are. And both
Unscripted.
yeah, and this was her first time. I brought her out of she stopped designing when she had the stillborn for over a year. And I was the first job she did. And she was like, she brought me back. And so it was just like both of us coming back. I had also stopped designing because of my burnout.
Mm-hmm.
So it just brought us back. And so when we were finally selected, we were just like, oh my God, we both just bawled. We were like, this is nothing but God, because how?
And then what is that like on set?
Oh, it was amazing. I'm getting like teary-eyed.
So I'm saying when you're recording all that, all the sadness and the burnout, all that's just.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, we still struggled, but a
Okay.
lot of times, we had 14-hour days. We were working hard, long, but it would pass. But we would have our days, and we would comfort each other, and we would speak to production about it. So you'll see that when the show comes out. But I think it was healing for both of us.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed, like I always say I'm the little engine that could, but when it comes to TV, I realize I'm good at this. Like I never say that. I never pick up something and be like, I'm good at this. And I really feel like it was because I'm in a place of I'm just my authentic self. I had some castmates that were just like, oh my God, when I look down that camera, I see a million people staring back at me. I was like, I don't even see that cameraman. I'm over here doing my thing. I was dancing. I was
going to say, I see the parallel between this feeling and when you were talking about joining that dance class, like free.
Yes.
And free to let people watch and not feel the burden of what they might think about it. This is just me.
And granted, I probably had lower stakes than the other contestants because they are all designers full time, and me and my partner were the only people on the show that didn't do it full time.
And didn't go all to school and all of that?
Yeah, none of us. We were the moonlighters. So I was just like, if I can compete with y'all, I already won.
Just being here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
This ain't my full-time gig.
Might be, though. Could be. I mean, you do have a face for TV. I mean,
I was told that multiple times by the cameramen and editors.
It's the bone structure for me. The teeth don't hurt either, girl.
That's that Bahamian.
Listen, the diaspora does not miss, okay? It's all of this up in here. I love that for you. And so we whispered about it earlier. It was maybe the law won't be around forever. What's the thought?
I don't know. They kept trying to get me to say that on the show. Like, what's next? What's next? And I don't know. I just felt like God is definitely going to open some doors for me, and I'm really ready to walk in whatever those are. Like, yeah, I can see something bigger for myself. I see flashes of it sometimes. I don't know what it is. I feel like I inspire what we were talking about earlier. I can inspire people who have spent so much time doing something, putting so much time, energy, and money, and you think you can't walk away. And I hope that I'm an inspiration to those people to say, yeah, you can try something new. I hope I'm that. I could see myself maybe being a motivational speaker in that way. And I really feel a calling that I am introducing interior design and making it accessible to Black people, my people, because I think we're in circles where we have the means, but we don't have the access. We don't know that it exists. We don't know what it costs. It feels unapproachable. And sometimes the designs simply don't reflect us.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I'm into culturally curated design.
Same.
And so I feel like I can be that as well.
As soon as I walked in your house, the chateau, I thought to myself, okay, yes, it's high fashion feeling, but the pieces are the culture. And I love to walk in someone Black's house and be like, Black people live here. You know what I mean? Without a family photo or anything, it's something about the textures, it's something about the patterns, it's something about the art and the sculptures. And I was like, okay.
Well, thank you, sis.
Just rubbing my feet together. Just really excited. Love it. So this is exactly why I wanted to call the show like the Quiet Revolution of Chalon, because we've just watching the art where we talked about how you started, all that you invested, getting down to basically burnout. And then like from a phoenix, you rise from the ashes onto television. Do you think, this is my perspective, this is my opinion of it, that, and because you're a woman of faith, I feel like I can pitch this as a truth. And then you tell me if it lands for you. I feel like God had a vision for your life. And it ends here no matter which road you take. I feel that your creative interior design was something you were doing when you were 6, 7, 8 years old, not even knowing to call it interior design. You take the traditional path. You do the law school. You do great you're going to do great at whatever you do because you're a hard worker. But when you're broken down to your studs and you're willing to give God whatever he wants, not what you think you should do, it's all back. The whole career, the takeoff, the TV, the everything, just as if you'd been working at this for 20 years instead of something else for 20 years. There's people who do 20 years waiting to get a HGTV show, waiting to be recognized for their work. It's like he redeemed the time and gave you everything he wanted to give you anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Right. The redeem the time.
He does that. God will redeem the time. It's like almost like a time warp. Yeah, babe, you spent your time doing this because you thought this is what you had to do, but the gift is still right here. Like you didn't miss a step.
I pray that's true.
I think it is.
Because then that would shift this narrative I have of I'm the little engine that could.
No.
That I have to put 20 more years in.
No. It's very much, all right, baby, ready to do the dream? It's still right here. All the stuff is here. It would have been right here, whether you had done that first or not done that first. Here it is. It's yours. I'm very, what God has for me is for me. What is for me will not pass me. And it's here. I mean, seriously, I know a lot of people who actually went to school for interior design. They are not on television.
Yeah.
So, and that's their dream. Now, will they ever get there? I don't know. But Chalon's dream was waiting for Chalon.
That's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the redeem the time. He's so gracious, so merciful. But yeah, I people used to always speak that over me with, the lawyers and judges that I didn't want to see my work would say, "Oh, you're going to be on HGTV," and I would always say, "I receive it. I receive it." I didn't know that it would ever happen. No, I didn't. And so soon. My business has been open 5 years.
Those pieces fell in place quick though, because do you remember I sent you my real estate magazine? And you submitted a picture or something to them, and then you had the centerfold like a month later.
8-page spread.
8-page spread. That's what I mean by redeem the time. Like, and people gonna, what they say, people gonna say it's Photoshop. They're gonna say that. People are gonna say, oh, she just lives a charmed life, not knowing all that running and all that work you did is just gonna show up in this career now. I would definitely hire you. If I didn't ever see a single piece of work you'd ever done in interior design, I would hire you because of how hard you work at law. There's no way you take that personality out of the next thing you do. You just do the next thing that well.
I agree with you. And the skill sets are not lost. And that's what I would want other people to know who are thinking about leaving a career. Like I bring the legal analysis, the way that I've learned to get a set of facts that's all that you've never heard before. You walk into someone's home, you gather, you do discovery, you gather who are they, what's important to them. You have communication, you're going back and forth. It's like writing a motion. You're both putting your case forward. The fact that you're trained to pay attention to detail as a lawyer, and that I can communicate my vision just like I do in a closing argument. I mean, all of those things I'm using for interior design.
Not the least of which is the actual contracting.
Yes, the practical skills as well. But just in the client hands, we know how to treat clients.
Yes.
We are trained. You do not let 24 hours go by without responding to your client. So you're going to get that from me as well. So I think there are so many transferable skills, and I hope that people are inspired and just know that, no, I didn't waste my time. Your gift will show up wherever you take it. I agree with you.
I love that. I think we're at time. I think we are, but is there anything else you want to say? Someone's definitely watching this thinking, all right, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. Just give them a small piece of encouragement.
Oh my gosh. I just heard this morning, literally when I was doing my self-affirmations. It was saying fear is not a prophecy. Fear is a very loud storyteller that has horrible timing.
Like, you think it's an omen, it's just a lie.
Yes.
With bad timing.
Yeah. And that you can control your thoughts and you can control your emotions and you can create the future that you want. I used to believe that there is truth. And I was just like, oh, I'm a realist. I'm real about life, and I understand the risks. And I was listening to this lady who was saying that you don't have a trademark on truth.
Ooh.
So it's really about your perspective, and I can create whatever reality that I want. And even when I'm feeling really horrible and I'm just like nothing is going right, I do one thing that helps me create the future that I want. Just one small thing every day, one step to help me create the future that I want. And one day, you'll be sitting in that future.
Oh, I love that. The Lulu is the Salulu, is what I. Wait, I was gonna say this because I actually learned that about the truth. I actually learned that from being married, that your emotions don't automatically become the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you feel something is happening doesn't mean it's actually happening.
Yes.
Marriage will teach you a lot of stuff about yourself and the truth.
Yes.
And how tethered you are to it and how much of it you're making up. So, without further ado, I want to say thank you so much. And I'm going to get the full home tour now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes. I gotta go. I gotta see the chateau. Okay. This ain't Chateau Charade. This is actually built. Okay. I'm gonna check it out.